Happy Thumbs Gaming. Big Show.
Hey everybody, it's Brian with HappyThumbsGaming. Today we're checking out Chris' campaign where we find 20 Serpent Emblems related to his campaign for Resident Evil 6. Alright, so this one's fairly early in Chapter 1. If you haven't figured it out already, each campaign has 5 chapters, and each chapter has 4 emblems. So you do the math. I think it's like 74 emblems or something. No, I'm just kidding. It's 20. 20 per campaign, which there are a total of 4 campaigns, and that will equal a total of 80 Serpent Emblems, which if you earn all 80 of those, or find all of them, you will actually obtain the Heirlooms trophy. Alright, so here we are in the first one. We just made our way up into the first tenement building. We made it all the way up the stairs, and this one's pretty much in our direct path. It's in the back of a butchery. Just blast it. That's all you gotta do is just shoot it. And we'll go ahead and move along. So as you can see, we got them labeled by chapter and by which emblem. So if you're missing one from chapter 4, then go ahead and scroll ahead to chapter 4. You guys can figure that out. So here we are, and basically just a little bit further along, and we're going to find these on a couple of shelves in a little storage area along our path. You do kind of have to bust open those boxes to get to it, as you can see, but there she blows. Here we are up on the rooftop, still in Chapter 1, and we're getting pretty deep into Chapter 1 here. Once you're crossing this little rickety bridge, you're going to want to head turn around and look off kind of to your right once you do. We'll find it here in a second. It took us a minute. There's quite a few green buildings, and we got a little confused to which one we were looking at there. So, if you are Piers in this particular case, you can actually use your sniper rifle and obtain it a lot easier than old Chris can. However, it is obtainable, as you can see there. We nabbed it with only like a clip and a half to spare. Alright, here we are in the buildings now, and this is when you are running trying to save the locals and transitioning between 7 and I believe it's the first floor in the mission that you got to go do. You'll end up along the 6th floor. Right in the middle of the 6th floor, you will see here in just a second, there is kind of a little, I don't know, convenience store and maybe another butchery, whichever you want to call it. And if you look carefully, you'll see that nice little blue Serpent Emblem dangling just like a nice sack of potatoes. Easy there, what were you thinking there? Sack of what? Alright, moving along. Here we are in Chapter 2. And this is right after your boy Finn has planted the explosives to blow the train car so that you guys can proceed through. And as soon as he does that, you're going to want to advance into the Javo's territory and run all the way to the back right, and you will find the emblem right there. So you can see I'm only a couple paces away from Flynn, but it's just straight back on the right. So here is an emblem that can only be reached by Piers. And right after you blast the tanker truck and kind of disable the tank, so to speak, you're going to want to look over to the right before leaving the crow's nest, and you will see it on the far right pillars of the bridge. And go ahead and blast that sucker, and we'll move right along. Here we are still in Chapter 2, and when we approach inside the big main building here, you'll see all those chrysalids. And you'll go ahead and run along the back side of the stairs, not advancing up the stairs like the story would like you to. So, and this one was a tricky one. This one is right after you meet up with Ada, right at the end of Chapter 2. You're going to have to, Ada wants you to go through this door here with all the rest of your soldiers, but make sure you take a right and look behind that secret little curtain before doing so. And now here we are in Chapter 3, moving along through the park here. As soon as you and your partner breach this park gate together, you're going to want to cross the street and advance to the left. The story shows the blood dripping to the right, and that's where you're supposed to go, but make sure you take a little detour to the left before doing so. And scene. Alright, we'll move to the left. And everybody knows you run faster with your knife out. Right? Oh wait, I'm not FPS Doug, that's right, it's Chris. Chris! I miss Shiva or Sheba, whatever her name was, going Chris all the time. But there you can see, we went ahead and we grabbed that, and we're off to the next one in Chapter 3. This one is going to be once you follow your men, and you're going to breach the living quarters of the building ahead, shortly after that playground scene there. And you're going to go ahead, and once you get into the building, you'll see a little mahjong table, a poker-esque looking table. And once you see that, there's obviously a way out. The story's wanting you to go, but make sure you sneak around the corner here and look on those bunk beds. And grab that trusty blue Serpent Emblem first. Booyakashow. Check out that dirty laundry. It's all hanging like it's been cleaned, but that shit don't look clean. Alright, so here we are in the pagoda-style building. We're trying to get out. Everything's on fire. Chopper's been dealt with, so to speak. Before you jump down on your way out, you're going to want to look across at the stilts building. Little building on stilts, all the scaffolding and everything. And obviously use a gun that has a little bit of range and accuracy. And pop that blue Serpent Emblem across the way, and then go ahead and jump along and continue along. Down below, there's some serious action right here, so make sure that you handle that before. And this one's pretty easy. I bet you most of you guys saw this one. As soon as you arrive in the parking garage where all the enemies are kind of doing a blockade, there's one in a double-decker bus window right behind the main enemy vehicle in the middle. So just make sure you blast that sucker and you should be fine. Alright, Chapter 3 taken care of. Here we are in Chapter 4. We're in the middle of the warehouse. There's a giant helicopter and there's also a red race car on the left. And all you need to do is run over to this giant chopper and hop in the front. And there she sits, right in the old cockpit. Yeah, I don't know. You might have better luck than I did. I tried to give it the old, that's not a knife, this is a knife. And it didn't work, so we went with the old rifle again. Apparently, that Serpent Emblem hasn't seen Crocodile Dundee. I don't know where the hell it was. Anyways, here we are still in Chapter 4, moving along. And we're going to go ahead and right after you use the partner action and you are moving your way up, basically following Ada Wong here, there is a little dinghy out there. I ain't talking about your ex-boyfriend there, ladies. I'm talking about a little boat behind the tugboat there. And out there you can see on the antenna. So... And then here we are, we're still advancing after Ada Wong. We're climbing up a ladder, and here's a set of stairs here that you actually have to go up and by anyways. As you can see, Cross is making his way over there. But before doing so, make sure you don't tell Cross and you grab this nice big hefty item, or skill point item there. And alright, and right under there, most likely every one of you guys saw that one as well. That one's pretty much directly in your path, so... But nonetheless, we wanted to put it there for you. So here's another one that allows you to only find it if you're playing as Piers. Right after you get dropped off, after the whole hovering aircraft situation out there, we're going to get dropped off. And right after blowing up the first item, you find it right there on your right-hand side, tucked away in a tire. Now this one, too, is also one that can only be done as Chris. So... It's kind of a couple of here in here that are a pain in the ass. I assume most of the RE fans out there play as Chris as opposed to Piers right off the bat, unless you're Iron Cross and you're stuck as playing as Piers no matter what. And here we are still moving along in Chapter 5. You enter right after, well, this is the room. You have a whole bunch of guys coming through that door right there, as I just pointed out. And what you're going to do is over in the far right corner in what looks to be like a laundry chute or some sort of air duct, there's an emblem sitting sideways, which makes it extra hard to spot on your own. However, we found it there for you, so if you haven't found it already, there you go. And now this is moving along a little bit further. We're having the giant boss battle with that giant a-hole squid-looking Skeletor, who knows what. I'm not sure what dreams people have that make them come up with some of these bad guys, but bravo, it's ultra weird and scary. But you'll find yourself running through an underground tunnel, and at one point, Chris will be climbing his way up. And as awesome as this may or may not be, as soon as you get up to safety and roll around, there's actually a Serpent Emblem tucked right to the left. And despite the seizure that Chris seems to be having there, he can shoot it with ease, as well as Piers too. And then we're moving along, and this is actually the last one for Chris's campaign, and this will complete the 20. When everything's falling to shit and you're running through and, you know, Piers is kind of doing his thing. I won't get into detail on that too much just in case you haven't made it this far. But you're running along, and you get to the last door, and off to the right-hand side, you can see the Serpent Emblem. So go ahead and snag that. I will say that time is of the essence there. it is easy to miss a few times, and then everything falls, as do you, and you die. But the good news is you get to do it over and over and over again. Checkpoints right there, so yay. Well, that's going to go ahead and wrap up Resident Evil 6 Chris campaign, where we find all Serpent Emblems. That's all 20 of them. And we're that much closer to our Heirlooms trophy/achievement, which is for collecting all 80 Serpent Emblems. So far we've got Leon campaign up. Now we got Chris's campaign up. And any guesses who's next? We're getting pretty close to having that one ready for you as well. So stay tuned. Hopefully you're enjoying these videos. And yeah, check out our new website. Head on over to Twitter. Head on over to Facebook. Woohoo! Have a party. It's an internet party. Until then, though, feel free to comment, vote, subscribe, and yeah, tell us what you like and what you don't like about what we're doing. As most of you have found, we are pretty responsive in all your comments, and we're pretty active with all of our fans. So we appreciate your support. And as always, until next time, see ya!